All right, so I signed back in because I think the server kicked you guys out, and I'm hungry. So I got a text that said, "Hey, the server kicked us out. Sign back in." So, man, could really go for a veggie pizza. Really got a veggie pizza over there. Black and white people, we got to cut it out. I don't hate no white people that I don't know. People that I don't know. But there are some white people that I do know that I can't stand. There's some black people that yeah, there's some black people that I know. I can't stand them. I don't want to be nowhere near them. They don't like me either. Ain't done nothing to them. They just don't like me. But the bloodshed that's been occurring. Are you? I'm talking. Your video is stalling. You know what? I don't know why though. Oh, my internet is so slow. Come on, I'm right here. Huh. My internet is doing weird stuff. I don't know why. We got to cut it out. You know, by 2060, white people will no longer be the majority, be the Hispanics. They're everywhere. You need to think about that. Too busy worried about black people. So I need to be worried about is the Asians and the Hispanics. Are you on, Nicole? Well, the Asians will thrive and survive because there is no slowing them down. They have the market on, okay, where they don't have the market on is technology. But you have to understand, America's technology is predicated upon bringing people into America who are not Americans. They use the visas to do that. Most people who are brilliant that are here in America are not from this country. They're from other countries. But those other countries are destabilized. Those other countries are, second and third world countries, because of the Europeans who suck all the money out of these countries and destabilize them to keep them off balance. So they have to come into America. That's really what's going on. I mean, it's a hat trick. You go to other countries, you make sure these countries are warring with each other, make sure they have civil wars. If somebody steps up to stop the civil wars or with some type of leadership, then that person is knocked off. That person's knocked off real quick. first they'll make allies with them and then they'll knock them off. Saddam Hussein was not our enemy. He was our ally. Hey, what's going on? How you doing, Phyllis? Phyllis Brown, everybody. Yes, Sister Phyllis. Sister Phyllis is that deal. It's a great sister. Go and check out her channel. Much love to her. She is making sure us YouTubers are being seen, and we just love her for it. As far so here's what's going on. So you have European countries, right? These European countries go into second and third world countries. And when they go into these second and third world countries, they either take out their dictatorship, take out their president, or they say, we'll become allies with you. Sometimes it's to get their resources, like to get their oil or, diamonds or things along that line. But what they'll do when they trade with them, they'll trade with them military. They'll have guns and they'll trade with them sometimes personnel. They'll trade with them medicine. They will also make them sick. They will also cause civil wars in these countries. That's what they do. So there's a small faction of that country that's loyal to the Europeans, and they war against other people in their country, their own brothers and sisters. They keep the civil war going so they don't realize who the real enemy is. The real enemy is the people who you think is giving you aid and all this. They're your enemy. And this, when you look at cartoons, they show this over and over again. That's really what's going on. And they destabilize these countries, and they cause famine in these countries and make people sick and do all these heinous things just to keep that country destabilized. Well, a change is coming. A huge change is coming that America and other European countries, you're right, they diversify, keep you divided. But here's the thing. There are countries that realize what's going on. And they're just like, okay, we'll trade with you, but we don't need your guns. But we'll trade supplies and stuff with you like China does. And this is why America owes China, because we're $24 trillion in debt. So basically what they're doing is China's like, we'll trade with you. You owe us a bunch of money. So they're getting a bunch of money from them, right? So what China's doing, instead of building up this whole infrastructure of an army of war, which they have 2 million people, foot soldiers as far as an army, and you do not want them on American soil. Because, okay, we have bigger guns, but when it comes to hand, this is just not something you want. They're well-trained. We just don't want that. But nonetheless, America can hold its own against any country simply because of technology and weapons. Get that understood. But when it comes to manpower, just the numbers, that's a whole different battle right there. When it comes to skill. See, we have, right. See what China is doing is China is exploding as far as their human resource, as far as how many people they have and the technologies that they use that are not so much like sending people into space and all this other stuff. But what they can do is build an infrastructure. This is what makes China so valuable. So China recently has seen that for one, they started building islands. Just think about that. Who do you know out there who has ever built an island? China's doing that in the China Seas right now, and America's getting pissed about it because they think it's neutral waters. It's just like, no, this is the Chinese Sea. This is where they belong. Okay, they're building it in their own sea. They're building islands. And all of these islands have some type of military installation on it. It's just amazing. It's amazing that they can even do this. They're adding land to their land. It just blows my whole wig back that they can even do this. It's like, wait, what? You're adding land to your land? Wait a minute. Not only that, they're going into Africa and they're saying, okay, Africans, we see that you're destabilized some parts of Africa. Not every part of Africa is some third world country, but parts of Africa is third world. So we see this, and you know what you have that we actually need? Manpower. So if you have China, if you have China collaborating with Africa, which is actually happening right now, there is a large push of Chinese merchants going into Africa and staying there. They're not migrating. They're going there and they're staying there. Nobody wants to serve the country in the army because the U.S. Will use you and then throw you away like garbage. The veterans are treated. Listen, I'm a veteran. I've been treated rough ever since I've been in this country. My whole family is a bunch of veterans. And there's some things that veterans do for us, like, I graduate in 2 days. I owe that to, a veterans program, the VOA. Not going to lie about that. My sister, my brother, my dad, my nephew, all in the service or were in the service. My nephew's in the service now. But being that I was a veteran, I'm still getting beat up by the police. I've still been thrown in jail for reasons I don't even know why. I got all kind of marks on my body from being harassed and beat up by the cops. So no, they don't treat you like you're somebody once you get out the military. They don't. It just doesn't happen. It's just unbelievable that you were willing to sign on a dotted line and risk your life, and you come home and you just get treated like crap. It's just unreal. Listen, even while I was in the military police were harassing us. We just can't understand it. And the civilian police were harassing us. When we come off the base, they'd follow us off the base and pull us over and give us tickets. It's like we're willing to give up our lives for this country to stay what it is and to be greater than what it is, and you still hate us because we're black. We can't win. We cannot win. So the Chinese don't like black people. Let me not paint that picture. But the Chinese like accessibility. Their minds are constantly thinking around ingenuity. They realize that there's only so much that we can build. We need more hands to do it. They realize this. Chinese shops it's hated by so many, Phyllis. These Chinese shops are now spilling into Africa. And you got to understand, you have a bunch of Africans who are hungry, they're starving, disease-ridden. Listen, all of that is about to come to a screeching halt. I'm telling you right now, for the European nations that are going over there and stealing diamonds and all that stuff, that's about to come to a screeching halt, because the UN has already noticed that once they call a meeting, China, Russia, and I think Syria, they don't show up. They're like, we don't care what you say. But trust me, being that China is going into Africa and they have now stock in the African countries, you better believe that they're going to protect it. It's not really us that they're protecting, but they need us. See, now there's a need for black people. That changes the whole game right there. And when you start messing with somebody's assets, they're going to come see about you. And if you mess with China, which you don't want to do, you're messing with Russia. We don't want that either, because that starts an automatic world war. Nobody wants a world war. And we've already been tossing threats back and forth to Russia, telling them that we'll beat them. Listen, you may beat Russia, but it will cost so much. It will cost so many lives to beat Russia and China and North Korea, it will cost there will be so much death that it won't, listen, you won't be able to hide in your little bunker and save your whole family. That's not what's going to happen. This planet will go up in flames if you start messing around with these people. No, this is not what you want. America, don't let your hubris get to you. You know, French and all that. No, I don't care who our allies are. This is not what you want. We buying all these hair and listen. China doesn't hate us. No. They don't. No. They don't like us. See, hate is different. Because if China hated us, they would either try to enslave us, they would kill us, they would take our children from us. That's hate. That's hate. What the Chinese do is they look at everyone as how they can use them to get what they want. That's what they're doing. They're not trying to befriend us. You don't see Chinese people going to black parades. You don't see them coming to Juneteenth. But you see black people going to the Chinese Day Parade. You see black people going down to the Chinese festival. You don't see Chinese people walking up in the black restaurants and supporting them. See, they don't hate us. They're not out trying to, you don't have a large group of like millions of Chinese people saying that we're going to kill black people. Where you see that at? That's hate. When's the last time an Asian dude got into it with a black man and killed him? You don't. White people or certain groups of Latino people hate. This is true. This is true. See, that's hate. Planned Parenthood, hate. Putting people in jail for, stealing a sandwich for 50 years, hate. There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference when they're taking your life away from you, when they inject syphilis into you and watch you die. That is a hate crime. That's hate. Chinese aren't doing that. The Asians aren't doing that. Yeah. Okay, now there's two different things going on with the nail salon. For one, when you set up a nail salon in the area, you already know that there's going to be some people who's going to come in there and it's just going to be a mess. Now, I'm sorry to say, there has been mixed messages going on about the nail salons, but in no shape, form, or fashion do I agree with anyone putting their hands on each other. I don't agree with that at all. Now, recently, you had an Asian woman pick up like a broom and was beating one of these women, was just beating her. That woman went to jail. That happened in Brooklyn, where yeah, see, I don't know all the ins and outs. Yeah, a lot of black people hate black people. I go outside and people snare at me all the time. It ain't black. Oh, yeah, Phyllis. I'm aware of that. Man, listen, the times that I've either lost a job or been held back from job, the majority, black people. The majority of black people. Really. The majority. Every time I've been to prison, or excuse me, I've never been to prison or been to jail or, for the weekend or it's because of black people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what am I doing here? Yeah. It's like, why am I here for a day and a half? Somebody black. Why? Why am I here? Somebody black. Times I got robbed, black. So yeah, black people hate black people because they're so tribal. They hate black people. They can't get their head out of their own behinds. They realize that we're losing, But why? Because of all this music that tells you to hate each other, and the more hate that you spew, the better. We don't have love music anymore, not being played widely on the radio. Every person popular on the radio right now is spewing hate. Using the B word to identify the women. Name somebody popular on the radio right now. in the higher upper, in the top 100. Just name them. And I'm going to tell you that they have a song that's calling somebody out their name. It is what it is. The Migos, they use the B word every 2 seconds. Cardi B, same thing. Little Pump, talking about he'll screw a chick and forget her name. What, drinking lean, perp? Everybody's talking about killing other black people. I'm just saying, name somebody who's at the top of the line, upper echelon, and not using the B word. Beyonce, she uses it. Can't say that she don't. Her husband, him too. He's a hustler. Start off selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? That's what these people do. They constantly push this narrative of hating your own people. I can't even listen. That's why I like to listen to Neo Soul, because they always talk about love. I love music. I love it. I don't want to hear about shooting people, and I can't do that. I want to hear about loving someone. I don't want to hear about sleeping around with a bunch of women or a bunch of men. I don't need to see your butt crack every 5 seconds. I don't care about some girl twerking in Walmart. I'm just not amused by none of this foolery. None of it. I love to look at a nice looking, woman. Yeah, like, yeah, sis, you look great. But all this ridiculousness that they have out here, none of it is saying find someone, grow old together. None of it. None of it is saying raise a family together. All of it is saying drink lean, smoke perp, like turn up, get lit. Have a whole generation who's out there smoking and drinking, and they wondering why people are falling off the planet left and right. Because people are promoting this music. The Jewish who are the distributors, the Jewish families who are the distributors, Sony, are pushing this negative music ever since NAA. Yeah. I mean, there's a time to lick somebody all over. But Hamburger, do I got to hear about it every 5 seconds? Is that all you know, is licking people all over? You're a busy person. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on now. I just can't do it. Everybody is the plug. Yeah, I don't need to hear it either. Everybody's the plug. The plug is, you know what the plug is? That means they're the person who owns the drugs, who knows how to get to the person to help sell drugs. I am tired of hearing about people bragging about selling drugs to people. This makes you a tough guy or woman. They need to look at where some of these tough people ended up. Because listen, there's a recent situation where young lady, black woman, gorgeous black woman, sold drugs to the wrong person. He OD'd. She got charged. She's in prison right now. That's murder. Yeah, it's like, I can't listen. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I ran into, you ever heard a song, see my old lover at a grocery store? That really happened to me the other day. See my old lover at a grocery store. Ain't talked to her in like a year plus. She's like, hey, come hang out with me tonight. So we went to this club. I saw a bunch of other people who I used to know. And like, y'all still, like, I'm 51. You guys are still doing the same thing. Left there, went to another spot, the same thing. I told her, I said, listen, I'm going home because I don't want to be here. I've seen this before. I've done this. None of these people impress me. They're not doing anything to me new. I'd rather go home and bury my face in a book watch an educational show. I'm into that now. I'm sorry. Did she call me the next day? I didn't even answer the phone. I'm not interested in hanging out and doing all that stuff. Now, going out every now and then, not necessarily to a club, and doing something and being active, I don't mind that. But you want to hang out at the club, you are definitely not a person I want to be around. I'm not going to the club. I don't like it and I don't like them. I just don't. It's just not me. Mighty dollar, folks selling out to the world. I tell you what, God is gonna, man. People better be careful, man. Everything is jumping in bed. Even the show I like, I just realized that the show that I've been watching, all they do is promote violence and sex. And I was like, ooh, because I like technology. I was like, everybody's hooking up and jumping in bed, and nobody's married. That's all we're seeing is people jumping in bed. My show is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., by the way. Just like more people hooking up and screwing. Listen, I ain't got no problem with a good romp in the head. But I got a problem when it goes against the word of God. Trust me, there's a lot more people out there that need a romp in the head. But we can't do things outside of the word of God and expect it to just be right just because we did it. It just doesn't work like that. Look, there are rules and regulations on every front. There are spiritual rules and regulations. There are physical rules and regulations. There are rules and regulations at every state that you go to, every city that you go to. And if you don't mind and pay attention to these rules and regulations, then guess what? You're going to find yourself in trouble. Yeah, now you got movies that, like I'm glad I never saw this movie, but The Rock kissed Kevin Hart. I was like, two alpha males. This is The Rock we're talking about. This is the alpha male of males kissing another man. And you only did that because Hollywood told you to. Yeah, it was in a movie. I don't know which one. They were both spies, but they kissed each other. I'm glad I didn't see it. I'm on The Rock's his Instagram, but I was like, why did you have to kiss Kevin Hart? Because the Jews, you know what I'm saying, the Jewish people who owned, the movies are like, you're gonna kiss him. It's in the script. We want to show that, the homosexual, we want to push that agenda. I mean, listen, thank you. Listen, I watch Batman and I love the Batman animations. Why did the new Batgirl have a girlfriend? Is there anything I can watch where I don't have to see the same sex people kissing? All the things that I used to watch and love, it's just being torn apart. Yeah, Batman. There's a Batman animation. I love their animations. But there's nothing you can watch now where they're not pushing some type of homo whatever out there. Listen, for all you people who are homos, that's between you, the legislator, and your God. Because I can't tell you not to be a homosexual. I can only tell you what the scripture says about it. Still love you as a person, though. You're like, you're against homosexuals? No, I'm against homosexuality. Trying to convert the kids. Listen, last Christmas, they had a book that was out, and then they put it on freaking Fox News. And it was of a black Santa and a white Santa, and they were married. And I wanted to beat the hell out of the people who put it on the news and the people who created it. You're welcome. But thank me for what? Oh, you got to head to the gym? Okay. Please, if you can Son, or tonight, I'll be happy. I might. Yeah, and there was a picture of a black Santa and a white Santa, and I just went off. Like, and Megan Sabetta was a married couple who made it. And it's just like, and they were on the news talking about some, not all hate each other. No, not all hate each other. That would be just crazy. But, since what we listen, I wish I knew what Chinese letters actually read. Like, I wish I could say your name. Thank you, my Asian friend. Right. No, black and white people don't all hate each other, but there's been a race war ever since before we actually been here. Before we've been here, actually, there's been a race war. So, you have the Moors and the Christians, the Moors, the Moroccans, they were going at it with the Europeans. You have the Europeans who, came out of, Europe because of the Crusades, the Romans, you have the Romans, the Syrians, or better known as the Gypsies now. Yeah, there's been a lot of race wars between different colored skins for the longest time. Darius going up against, you're not Asian, you're black, by the way. Oh, okay. You have an Asian avatar and an Asian name. So didn't mean to offend, I'm sorry. But yeah, not all hate each other. Like, I don't have hate for every white person. That's exhausting. Yeah, man, the checkout lady, at the counter of the store, she white, so I got an issue with her now. I ain't got an issue with her. May and whatnot, Maybelline, some 60-year-old. Now I got an issue with her just all of a sudden? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can't do it. It's exhausting to hate everyone. It is. It's just, yeah, I know about K-pop. It is exhausting to hate everyone. It's too much work. I tell you what, the playing field is about to be leveraged because the Hispanics are about to take this country over. And the Asians are taking over Africa. And it's just going to be a whole different ballgame. It's going to be a whole different ballgame. It is. It's the Asians are going to be like Big Brother to Africans. And I'm going to tell you what else is going to happen. It's going to be a sad state of affairs. And when you guys hear about it, just be like, Tone said this. Here's what's going to happen. China is building up Africa. And they're building up superstructures in Africa and different African countries. When I say this, they're putting electricity, they're clean water, and they're making sure. So the Europeans that are flying over there and messing up these countries, that's going to stop. That's going to stop. That's going to hurt them. Because you're not going to go over there and mess with China stuff. China's going to be like, get out of this country. Because now the Africans don't need you over here. No, we know what you're doing. Get out of here. Stop raping their children. Stop taking their babies from them. Because if you haven't heard, there's been some recent stories where a young girl over in one of these countries, she's 5 years old, and this organization here in America basically takes the children from them, but they do it under the guise of the child is being, the child will be educated in America and then return after like 2 or 3 years. So they'll be adopted by an American family, learn how to speak American, go to our schools, and then return after a couple of years. No, what was happening was the adoption agency was doing it, was telling the white people, the white family, that the black kid is being abused and raped and she's starving and all this. And so the little 5-year-old girl comes and she's with her white family and she learns English in like less than a year. And she's like, I was never raped. I was never abused. I love my mom. I love my family. They told my mother that I was coming over here, just to live with you guys for a couple of years and then going back over there. None of that stuff ever happened to me. So, of course, the white family's just like, wait, what? They go tell the federal police. The federal police goes to the agency and shuts the whole thing down. How many of those agencies are out there? It's just stuff like that's going to come to a screeching halt. Okay. They was at the Walmart and the woman and man with their kids were walking by us and they looked scared. He which was last shall be first. That's going to happen. In Walmart, they was looking at you funny. That happens all the time. I'm telling you, that's going to happen. China, the move that China is making is going to hurt the European countries going in and out and committing these heinous crimes, because China's going to be like, you can't come in here and do this. And they're going to strengthen the Africans. And once they do that, they're going to strengthen them. They're going to arm them. And once they do that, it's just going to be like, no more of your crap. You're not going to come over and steal the gold. You're not stealing the diamonds. You're not, what you're doing is taking slaves. You're not taking it. They're still taking slaves. They're not doing it. And once that happens, they're going to go to Haiti. When they go to Haiti, it's going to be on, because the Haitians are over there like, give us our land back. And the Europeans are like, no, we're not doing it. Well, it's going to be by force now. It's going to be like, okay, you don't want to give us our land back? Once Asia goes over there, once the Chinese go over there and they start building up the infrastructures and stuff like that again, see what happens. Try to attack them and see who's going to come out of the woodwork. I'm telling you, it's going to be a whole different, and this is happening now. May I ask why you have pick of Asians if you're black? Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Why they have a pick of Asians if they're black? But oh, they were white? Oh wow. Well, I love K-pop, which is Korean. This is true. And the people in the picture are my bias. I don't know that word. Okay, well, you like K-pop. There it is. You're young, too. This is a young person. You got to be, what, 13, 12, 13? You might be 14. Bias. The way you spelled it was, boom, there it is. Told you it's a young person. They're going to take it. History repeats itself. This is true. Do I have to be Asian to have that pick? Nope. You can do that. You're a girl. Well, young lady, listen. If you want pictures of Asian people, you go right ahead. We were just trying to figure it all out. And you like K-pop. So, boom, there that is. That's just a testament to what I'm already saying. You black people liking K-pop. Yeah, you're all right with us. We not we just trying to figure it all out, honey. But so I'm just saying that the Chinese people are making major moves that are going to help black people, even if it's inadvertent. See, they don't hate us. They may not like us, but they don't hate us. Now, here's the thing. They don't like white people. They work with them. They deal with them. But they know who blew Nagasaki and Hiroshima up. And it wasn't black people. Black people didn't drop those bombs on the emperor in Japan. We didn't do that. We didn't do that. Okay? White people did that, and they still remember that. And that was back in 48. It's back in 1948. That's not that long ago. Some of those people are still living. That's Pearl Harbor. Black people didn't do that. Okay. You don't think of Nagasaki and Hiroshima and go, black people did that to us. Mm-mm. They know who did that to them. Yeah, they know who did that to them. Black people didn't do that. They know who they're angry at. See, they may not like us, but they don't hate us. But now they need us. And if they start putting us to work, if we start getting money out of China, and that's what's happening. And the reason why, see, there were countries who, okay, so there's China mainland and there's China the island, and they're governed by two different governments. Well, China the mainland was like, we want more votes in the UN. But it was just like, we need to get it from some of you African countries. And they were like, well, we're kind of on the fence. And they said, fine, we'll come into your country and we'll build infrastructures. We'll get you clean water. We'll get you food. We'll get you electricity. We'll do all that, give you huge loans that we know that we'll never see. As long as we can put your people to work. And they're like, absolutely, you can have our vote. Why would you not? See, we were so, being that the continent of Africa was invaded by the European and destroyed. You know, there are some countries who are doing good, but there are still countries who have civil war over there. All of those civil wars, they're all going to come to a screeching halt. Because the more countries that start siding with China and looking at China and going, you guys are giving us money, you guys are giving us aid, you're bringing our country up, we're rolling with you. When they start doing that, they'll stop listening to the French. They'll stop listening to the Dutch. They'll start listening to the Americans. I have a question. Remember the video of the girl being hung by racist what? Yeah, I'm the one who talked about it. Do you believe that it is real, or the police involved? I believe it is real, and I believe that it's real, and I believe the people who did it are in law enforcement. But yes, the FBI know about it, and the local police know about it. Everybody knows about it. We just can't identify the girl. I feel this. Yes, you have done a lot of damage to yourself. I haven't seen this video. I feel this. Yes, you have done a lot of damage to yourself. What are you talking about? Oh, but no. Brother. No. No, we're not doing that. Not even. No. Let me do this. Hold on, you guys. Yeah, well, I don't know what you're talking about, but not here, bro. Yeah, I wish everyone would see people in that color. Well, unfortunately, that's never going to happen. Whatever your name is. I'll just call you K-pop because I can't read what your name is. I was saying that white folks have done more to others. Yeah. Yeah, white people have done more damage to any other race than anyone else. Worldwide. Either the Spanish, the Dutch, the Europeans. They've been dividing and conquering. Shoot. Ever since I can remember. It is the truth. They're highly volatile. They're dangerous. But I still believe that it's like a tribe of them that do this. Because not all of them do this. Not all of them are interested in going to war. We've seen it time and time again where you have white people who are marching with black people. In the 8th grade, we learned that white people are the reason why. Well, yeah, some of those diseases are manufactured. Okay, so we'll take one disease that knocked out 70 million people, the Black Plague. The Black Plague was actually a combination of two different species, their blood mixing. And once it got into our blood, it just had a very negative reaction that caused a lot of people to die. I wonder if your school ever told you about the Black Plague, K-pop, and do you know what two species it was that caused the Black Plague? To see if you know it. It's a good question. You don't know, I'll just tell you. No, two species, not two different races. Well, it's only one race, was the human race, but it's two species, two different, either animal or insect or. Okay, so you don't know. The answer is mosquitoes and rats. See, back then, you had a lot of seafaring people who traveled boats everywhere, um, long before the airplanes and all this other stuff. So what had happened was there would be a large amount of rats that would be on ships. Well, of course, rats eat anything, and mosquitoes would, of course, bite. They bite anything that has blood in it, so they can have their kids. And what happens is the rat blood mixed with the mosquito. The mosquito was actually the deliverer. So it was, I think, rats and pigs or something like that. But anyway, so once it would bite the rats, it would go and then bite a human. And once the disease was in the nose of the mosquito and it would inject into your bloodstream, you became sick and you died. Now, the Europeans at that time believed that it was because God was punishing them. Teach my school history. I know they don't tell us everything that we need to know. No, they won't. They won't. What school do you go to? You can all the way forget them and forget that. But yes, that was a disease that was spread by the Europeans traveling over here. And then, of course, smallpox, chicken pox, all kind of junior high school. Oh, please don't tell me what school you go to. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that you're a young person. I don't want to know what school you go to. So smallpox, chicken pox, and all kind of other diseases, yes, came out of Europe. And here's one thing that the Europeans used to do. Okay, so in London, okay, unsanitary means is what causes a lot of diseases. Junior high, no more info. Yeah, that's cool. No more info from me. And okay, in what they used to do in London back in, I don't know, a couple centuries ago, when they built London, they used that river that's there, and they would take, of course, use that water, because that's why you build a city along major rivers, so you can use the water So, all of your waste goes down into the water and goes downstream. So the fish don't eat the waste, and, whatever you're polluting into the water goes down, carries into the ocean, so on and so forth. That's the idea, but that wasn't what was happening. Not to mention, they would take their waste and dump it in the street, like literally on top of somebody's head. They would just take it, just dump it in the street. So imagine garbage and waste and sewage just dumped right on top of your head in the street, and it's like an everyday thing. This is where a lot of diseases came from, because sewage brings disease. Europeans are still destroying my people on both sides. It's very true. What's your nationality? So, this is where a lot of diseases come from, just living foul like that. Native. Oh, you're a Sioux? Sioux as in the Indian? Goodbye. Thank you for the new knowledge. You're much welcome. Come back anytime. We discuss all kind of interesting topics. And visit, Phyllis's channel and all these other channels, because we all have something interesting. Well, yeah, if you're a Sioux, then there are only 2 million registered American Indians left in America. Your grandfather was chief. He passed a few years ago. Peace, love, and hair grease. How you doing today? Gab Talk Media. So, Gab, you have a media outlet. You have something you want to promote? You can do that here. I don't mind. Yeah, you can do that if you want. You want to leave a link, people can, go and check you out. Is it Gab or is it Gabe? But it's I don't know how to say your name. Mercu. They don't just go to my YouTube channel. Nothing but topics that I think are important. Okay. Oh, they can just go to you. Oh, okay. Well, when I saw Talk Media, I was just like, oh, okay, well, Gabe. Okay, that's what I thought. Say head on over to Gabe's and, listen what's going on and everything. Because some people have podcasts and things along that line, which I need to start doing. But I'm not too fond of charging people. But it's really funny? You'd think that people want things for free, but people automatically put value on things that you do. So when you have like podcasts and stuff like that, people want to pay the 99 cents for it, because why? They think it's of some value. People automatically do that. If you have a pair of socks, you're like, we're giving away these socks. People are just like, But if you're like, $1.99 each pair of socks, they're like, yeah, I'll take something. Give me 3 pairs. It's really weird like that, because now they think it's valuable. Yeah, now they think it's valuable. Heck yeah, check each other out, man. I'm going to check them out too, as a matter of fact, once I'm done here. I'm interested in interesting people, but I want to get back to my man who is American Indian. Last time I saw an American Indian was like 7, 8 years ago. They're trying to take our land, still running pipelines and burning us to the property. Yeah. Now my brother lives in Texas, and he's around American Indians. Oh, I apologize with the name. So I'm sorry. You just appreciation. Pine Ridge. I don't know where that's at. What state is that in? Yeah, set up your pay. Do you have Super Chat? I keep telling you to get Super Chat, Phyllis. You get paid for what I do free on YouTube. Yeah, if you haven't, set up your South Dakota. Well, yeah, South Dakota. Yeah, I keep telling you to set it up so because people will just super chat is a thing. People will donate to you every now and then, but at least they have the chance to. You know what I mean? Like give them the chance to give you $1.50. Yeah, give them a chance to give you a couple dollars. The last time in the boot right now. In the boot? Where's the boot? Just found your channel. Oh, okay. The last time I saw an American Indian, didn't talk to him, but I was in Oklahoma. And, you hear all these stories about how the American Indian is rich and how they got all this money because they're getting appropriations because they're getting paid for the land that was stolen from them. And it's like, are they? Like I don't know anything about the American Indian today. I know the false histories they tell us about Wounded Knee and all that, which is just a crime in itself, how 200 of them were slaughtered. Yeah, the 40 acres, because we never got our 40 acres. See, the 40 acres and a mule wasn't supposed to be, oh, you got to go out and work for that 40 acres. No, it's supposed to be like, you're supposed to give us 40 acres and a mule. And that was so we could sow our land and then build from that and, become farmers because that's what a lot of people were back then. But you know what they did with the farmers? They killed off a lot of the black farmers. They either killed them, straight up murdered them, and took their land. And what the government did was they didn't give appropriations to black farmers. So eventually their business just went, because they wouldn't give them any money. A lot of farmers get government subsidies, not a lot of black farmers. From the Navajo tribe, it is what it is. I don't think there's any government out there that's not corrupt. Anytime you can take advantage of people, that's what they're going to do. He lives on a reservation. Yep. They're either going to take it one way or another. Yeah, they took your land. Busy talking about this land is your land, this land is my land. In New Mexico, this land is not your land. I know this land ain't my land because if I go out and try to buy some acres and then try to farm and then get, stipends from the government to do it, oh, somebody's going to come and buy it up real quick. They're going to come buy it up real quick. Joint. And or they're just going to knock me off and then just take it. Like, nah, I don't want to sell my land, but we'll give you, I think I like it. I got 40 acres, literally, and, a couple Chevy trucks, and, I like farming it. They're going to do something to it. They're going to do something to drive you off the land. That's just the way it is. Yeah, it does. They couldn't get any assistance from the tribe here. It's just evil all over. It's just like, it's just evil. This is evil people everywhere. I can't say that I ever thought about being a farmer. I can't openly, you know what? I always wanted to be a farmer. I think that's how farmers talk. Oh, wow, you really are an Indian. Like, Like you're not, because you got a lot of black people saying I got Indian in my blood, which is true. A lot of them do, but like you're the real deal. Like you really are Indian. That's racist. What I just said. A lot of black people do that. I got. You be like, okay, which Indian? You be like, okay, which Indian you got in your blood? I got Indian. They think that makes them special. I got Indian in my family. Be like, okay, what Indian? What tribe? Just Indian. Just like get out of here. MS, Massachusetts. Is that MS? That's Massachusetts, isn't it? The farming. Oh, races with the farm. Man. I was saying, I guess that's how farmers talk. I don't know. Time to go over here to no field to the farmers. I've been on a couple farms. That's some hard. Listen, I respect farmers. That's hard living. I just don't respect the fact that America hasn't given everyone a fair shake. They give most of the money to the white people. It is what it is. That's what they do. They even did that over in Africa. Now the people in Africa are like, we're taking our farms back and we're giving you a certain amount of time to get off of them, and we're not paying you a dime. Like they're really revolting against the Afrikaan, the white people over there. They're like, get off our land. And no, we're not giving you any money. Actually, they've been giving them a certain amount of time. They're like, we're giving you a certain amount of time to pack up your stuff and get off our land, or it's going to be all bad for you. Yeah, I respect them because I'm like, man, y'all, like that is not a glorified job, but they got money. They got money right now. Yeah, the Africans, man, they going at it with them. They're just like their presidents are making announcements like, we're telling you right now to get up off our land, and we're not paying you nothing. And if you don't, we're gonna come take it from you. I don't suggest they do that, but you can't rape and pillage and think it's not gonna come back to you. Yeah, I raped and pillaged your land, killed a bunch of people. Now this is my land, and you're surrounded by them. They're gonna come for your neck. Yeah, but I watch all kind of stuff. They're gonna come for your neck, and when they do, if you're not out of their country, look, they're not even saying you need to move to the city. They said you need to leave our country. Imagine if somebody told you that. Like, wait, the whole country? Like, I can't even move to the south side of eat some cheese. I can't live and eat some cheese. I got to leave the whole country. They're like, all white people get out of our country. That is scary. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to black people here in America. It's going to be a sad time. The African American is going to want to go back to Africa because it's going to get harder over here for us when it gets better over there in Africa. When China makes Africa better, people are going to want to start going over there and raising families. And you know what's going to happen? The Europeans are going to want to keep as many of us here. All this, go back to your own country. I'm telling you now, the people who are saying that don't work in government. They don't have large corporations. Yeah. Enjoy the stream, Tone, but I have to go. Talk to you later, Phyllis. Thanks for stopping by. But that's what's going to happen. All the black people here, it's just going to get worse for us, and it's going to get better over there. And they're going to be like, I'm just going to Africa. Then you're going to see a plane full of people. Like, okay, you wanted us to leave. You're still raping and killing us, we're leaving. And they're just going to leave their homes and everything, land somewhere in Africa, and start making a living. We're only afraid of what we don't know. That's what's going to happen. You're going to see a lot of people go over there and they're going to start making a living, and the word's going to be out. You know, so-and-so went over there. They live in whatever part of Africa. They got a good job. They're making a living. People are going to start going over there. Same thing. They're going to be like, boom. They're just going to keep rocking. Next thing you know, you're going to see a plane full of people going over there, and then you're going to start seeing those planes get shot down. And they're going to see the plane there was a freak accident with the plane and all that. Those planes are going to start falling out of the sky. Would I go? Yes. Yeah, I would go. I would go after I did some research. You know, if I knew it was stable over there and I wasn't going to get, axed up real quick. But I would go visit first. With my education, I can fit in anywhere in the world with what I do. Well, with my education, I don't actually do it yet because I'm just now graduating. But nonetheless, I will be working in healthcare. My degree is in healthcare management, and that's all over the world. So yeah, I would go. Do you think that Africans got that too? Do I think that they thought? Do I think that they thought what? There's already people who have moved from here to there to Africa. Yeah, there's all coming here. Well, you have plenty of Africans who live here. Yeah, there's Africans and African Americans who are already making that trip. Some of my friends were deported. They were from Nigeria, I think, or not Nigeria. I don't know, Ghana or something like that. A lot of people are saying go visit Ghana. Some people are saying go visit Senegal. But I'm telling you, it's going to be a huge change in Africa. A lot of these warring factions, they're going to all stop. All this killing and stuff, it's going to all stop because Asia is going to offer them money. And they're going to say, we'll come into your country and we'll help you build up your country. But all this warring you guys got going on, we're not doing none of that. We'll help you build up your police force. We'll help build up your military. We'll get the disease out. All that stuff. That all comes with building an infrastructure. Some of them do. And it's just going to be the way it is. We'll help build your infrastructure. But you guys got too many civil wars going on. We're not going to come spend billions of dollars and then it's just not going to happen. Now, the sweatshops is what you're talking about. Yeah, that's the thing over there. They don't like to pay them much. Yep. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. All the taking of their gold and their diamonds and the oils and all the resources. Stay woke. Yeah. It's going to all stop. European nations are going to have a fight on their hands. And it's just going to be like, if you come over here and you keep doing this, it's going to be world war. And unless you want world war, get out of this country. And then the African people who are fighting against each other are going to be like, Yeah. Uh, they're gonna be like, yo, we're done with the European. And Europeans are gonna say, well, you still need us to trade, and we're just like, yeah, but we're not gonna let you keep coming in here and just having sex with kids and getting away with it, which that's what they're doing now. They call it Mazungo. Now our police force is strong enough that we can stop you from doing that. And they'll threaten them and say, hey, we're gonna pull our subsidies out. You're just like, go ahead. And China's gonna be like, well, we'll pull our subsidies in. You know what I'm saying? And once they put all their subsidies in, then that's gonna be that. See, there's so many of them. There's so many Africans. There's so many tribes over there. There's so many countries over there. There's just a lot of people, especially in Nigeria. Jeez. My show is great. It's lightning there. You must be young. What are you, about 14? About 14, maybe. Because if you are, that kind of changes what I can say to you. It's like, can't really be like, yo, where city you in? Anyone who's under 18, I can only ask, I'm very careful about that. Woo! Yeah. These people were supposed to come and fix my AC and they didn't do it. Anyways, I'm about to beat it. But thanks for stopping by. I'm hungry. Talk to you later. God bless.